Hey, what's happening guys? It's Nagpal for iGyaan, and it's that time of the year again, and I'm going to be unboxing and taking a quick look at the new iPhone 6. I finally managed to get my hands on it. You can see that the packaging is more or less identical to what we've seen in the past, but instead of putting a phone on the top of the box, they've essentially put a sort of cutout or a sort of engraved, embossed sort of finish over here. You can see that the Apple iPhone logo or branding is in the gold color. That's because I've chosen the champagne gold color. And it is 128 gigabyte. So let's go on ahead and unbox. So there it is. The first thing inside the box is the iPhone 6 itself. It's fairly slim to hold in the hand. The size is definitely much larger than what I've been using, and I've been using the 5S more or less. So I'm going to put this to the side for the time being, and I'm going to go further in and see what is going to be inside the box, where there's not going to be a lot of surprises. If you open through this packaging, you will see a bunch of Apple stickers, a quick start sort of guide which will tell you what all is where on the device. So a sleep wake button, volume silent, and the home button and touch ID sensor and the lightning connector. In most countries you will also get a SIM removal tool, but in the US, from where my phone is, you do not get a SIM removal tool because this will come with a T-Mobile SIM inside the phone itself. So you'll also get the standard USB to lightning connector cable inside the box. You'll get a USB wall charger, and you also get the Apple Earpods. And nothing has changed on the Earpods as well. So they're the same bad sounding earphones that come inside the box. So it's best that you get a good set of earphones that will really help you go further with your device. So I'm going to put all of these things back, and I'm going to take a look at the device itself. So what I'm going to start off is by removing this plastic protective film from the back of the device as well as the front. And basically this is the device. In the hand it feels like there is no battery on the inside of the iPhone 6. The gold color definitely a big improvement from the previous generation, although this all metal back design is new for this generation, but it comes essentially from the first generation of the iPhone, which had a rounded sort of design where the edges were rounded, and this essentially is a revamp to that. I'm going to go ahead and power it on, and then I'm going to take a quick look around the device. So over at the front you have a front-facing FaceTime camera. Now this is a 1.2 megapixel camera that can only do 720p video. If you look just above the earpiece is a bunch of sensors over there. And looking at the display, you have a 4.7-inch display which has a 1334 by 750 pixel resolution, giving it a total of 326 pixels per inch, retaining Apple's Retina display requirements. On the bottom is the Touch ID sensor, seems to be exactly the same size, so no changes or improvements in terms of that. And if you look at the bottom of the device, we have the same location for the 3.5mm headphone jack, but they've changed the way this microphone grill was to just a microphone dot. Then you see the lightning connector, and then you have the main speakers. On the right of the device is now the power lock and unlock button, removing it from the top, and they've also put in the SIM card tray, which is on the side. Now the top remains clean and wary of any buttons or ports or anything as such. On the left is the silent button, which will allow you to silence the device or mute the sound, and then you have the volume rockers. On the back is the new 8 megapixel iSight camera, giving it face detection, autofocus as well, and also has a 1/3-inch sensor with 1.5 micron pixel size. It can also do 1080p video at 60 frames per second and 720p video at a whopping 240 frames per second, drastically slowing it down. The first thing I'm going to need to do is set this up. So I'm going to set this up and I'm going to get back. So when you set up the phone for the first time, it's going to ask you whether you want a zoomed in display view with bigger icons, or you want a standard display view. So I think the standard view is going to be like this. If you want a zoomed in view, you'll have like bigger icons, which are like this. In either case, I don't think it makes any difference because you'll have the same set of icons. I think the smaller one looks convenient. Maybe I can change it later on. They also give you a quick look at how messages will look. So I can read perfectly fine with this. I don't see the need. So I get more content when it's lesser, of course. So when you're zoomed in, you get lesser content. So with this, I feel the standard has to be it. So it is done, and this is my iPhone 6. As you can see, if I compare it to my iPhone 5s, you'll see a major size difference over here in the display size as well as the overall shape, etc. But in terms of slimness, the device is drastically slimmer, and it feels much lighter in the hand, and it feels really nice to hold in the hand with no sharp edges sort of troubling you. And with the fact that everyone is complaining about the fact that the device bends, it's purely, I think, because of the fact that they've used really light materials, allowing the device to, I guess, become more ductile. But irrespective of that, the larger screen size definitely improves from the kind of usage that you get on this. When you double tap, you get this new multitasking panel, whereas in this case, when you double tap, you get this sort of panel over here. So major differences in terms of that. Now in the iPhone 6, it allows, in the iPhone 6 Plus, it allows you to sort of bring down the top of the screen towards the bottom when you double tap on the home button. I don't know if that is allowed in this, but I will find out when I'm checking out the device later on. The camera now shoots 720p video at high speed slow motion at 240 frames per second. And you can't really change that. So when you're basically clicking capturing video, it'll automatically come at 240 frames per second on the device, really slowing it down. Now let's open up Safari, and of course we're going to open up our website. It essentially just changes the way you'll be looking at things, giving you a lot more real estate on your device, basically, giving you full sort of coverage on the display, and giving you more space to do more things. You can of course use that to make the text bigger and make the overall screen use less space but make the text bigger so that you can view it easily. If you think that the text is too tiny, I personally feel that this space will give me a lot more sort of, it'll give me less clutter to use the device with. The edges seem really nice, and the phone seems really nice in the hand, and the golden color is slightly different, very slightly different from what we saw last year. So I personally feel this one looks better. If you talk about the specifications on the iPhone 6, if you talk about what's inside, there is a Apple A8 chipset on the inside, which is a dual-core 1.4 gigahertz V8 based chipset, and of course you have the PowerVR GX 6650 hexa-core graphics for the GPU, and you get 1 GB of RAM, and like I said, 128 GB of storage on this one. And with the main camera, the fact that you can do 240 frames per second video. It's been found that this has a 1810 milliamp hour battery, therefore significantly bigger than what was on the iPhone 5s. So hopefully we get a lot more battery, because battery was really troubling me on the iPhone 5s. So our review will be out shortly, so stay tuned for that. If you have any major questions or queries about the iPhone 6, do drop them in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and subscribe to us on iGyaan on YouTube for your daily dose of tech.